Hi, okay, so I hope this will help you guys. This is exactly what I went through with the kids. It's just going to be a little quicker because you guys are adults and I know you can handle it. So I start with a fresh Google page. I type in the words Ohio Air Practice. Test just kind of pops up there automatically for you. And I click on Student Practice Site. Then, hi. Sorry, I'm like talking to my computer.
Oh no. I just think I'm talking to Humphrey. Benjamin at home.
Okay, so you do not have to sign in anything. You can just click sign in, say yes. You're going to select your grade level, obviously grade 3. Say yes, and it'll open it up for you. All right, so we're going to practice the English language arts test. You do not have to change any of those things right there. Leave them all the same. Go ahead and click yes, start the test. These test instructions are not that helpful. They are for all the tests, all the AIR tests, so there's a lot of things that don't apply to the 3rd grade language arts tests. So what I like to do is just get right into the test, and you can see all the things that apply once you're inside the practice test. All right, so here we go. Over here, these top tools, the back, next, save, pause, and end test, they're not that useful. You might use the next and back to toggle between the questions, but you don't need those. You can do it also over here. They have the pages or the questions numbered. Those are how I was getting through the test. Just a matter of preference, doesn't matter. The save button you will not need, it automatically saves. The pause button you will not need, even if a child goes to the restroom or uses, has to get up to get a tissue or a new pencil for his scrap paper, you just put the folder in front of his screen. You don't have to use the pause button, and you do not have to use the end test button either. Over here, these tools, the notepad open up is really not a great tool. I discouraged the students from using that as well. It tends to slow the computer down and just kind of made it freeze, and we had to start over, and it's really not that useful. They do have scrap paper, so I encourage them to use that. The one next to it, the line reader, again, that's a preference. I don't know that it would help kids as much. Probably some kids it will, but they will know that. All it does is I'm using the arrow keys right now to go up and down and just read line by line. You can use it over on the questions and the answers as well. Zooming in and out are options. Again, if they don't have vision problems, they won't need to zoom in and out. They can make the story or the selection larger by using this arrow. Brings open the whole story. And while we're on this story, I wanted to bring it to your attention that there are 2 passages, and that I told that to the students as well. Make sure you scroll all the way down and read everything. Okay, so that arrow is just a toggle. It brings you back and forth. This menu it looks pretty useless, but it is very useful when you highlight some of the text. So you have to select your text first, turn it blue, then hit the hamburger tool, that's what we're calling it, and highlight selection. Then the highlighting tool appears, only if you have some selected text. And you can reset it if you've got some on there as well. So if I don't have any text selected right now, my only option is to reset highlighting. I can't highlight anything because I didn't select anything. So to highlight it, you have to select, then highlight. Let's see. That's all that there are. That's the only thing in this toolbar is just to highlight. So over here, though, you'll have some more options. You'll have strike through if it's a multiple choice. When you hit strike through, you'll notice everything grays out except for that question, and it allows you to strike the answer. You cannot select the answer unless you turn that strike through off. The way to turn it off is to just click outside of the options, and then it just goes away. And now I can choose my option. You'll notice it does let you strike through all 4, and even if I select D here, the computer doesn't realize, or the grading isn't affected by the strike through. But if I wanted to take those off, I can go back, take it off. It's just and then to turn it off, I have to click out again. So that's the multiple choice tool. On this hamburger menu over here, they also have a tutorial option. It's really boring. It's just videos with no audio that just tell the kids how to take a multiple choice item, how to do that part. The kids, for the most part, will not need these videos, and they will know if they're looking for help. These videos aren't really the best place to get it. So I discourage the students from those as well. Mark for review is just kind of like putting a post-it on your page, like you need to go back and check it again. At the end of the test, it will tell the kids, you know, you have 4 items marked for review. Are you sure you want to submit? And so if they mark for review of something they want to go back to, that's a nice tool for them. Okay, so let's go on to the next question, number 2. You'll notice I got a little green check mark up there. All that check mark means is that I was on the question and I answered it. It doesn't mean I answered it completely. It does not mean I got it correct. It just means I was on there and I did something. Question 2, you can see, is not a multiple choice. So if I look at my hamburger tool, I do not have the strike through option. I still have the tutorial boring video. I still have the mark for review flag. And I have this new and select previous version. So that means if I was typing something and then I went to another question, then I came back and I wanted to change it, or I wanted to go to the other version, you could do that. I don't think our kids are going to be doing that. I think they'll be working on the question and then they'll be done. So you can see I'm just going to hit a couple spaces and go to question 3, and it tells me that I completed that question, but really I did nothing. So those green check marks can be a little bit confusing, definitely misleading. Another multiple choice, we already talked about that. Question number 4, again, multiple choice. You can notice that they're talking about paragraph 26, and it'll help them over here. You've got those paragraphs numbered. If you look at question 5, you can see that the answer options change from circles to squares. This means you can select multiple answers, and you'll notice that in question 6 as well. This question type asks them to analyze both passages and kind of compare and contrast like a Venn diagram. Again, the tutorial is going to, or the hamburger menu is going to change. You can see highlight popped up because I selected that text. But there's no strike through because there's no multiple choice. And yeah, that's it there. Let's look at question 6. This one you can see they're asking for 2 details. So in order to get this question correct, the students need to select 2 of these boxes. And they're not circles, so you can select more than 1. However, you cannot select more than 2, which is very nice. You can use the strike through here if you want to, if you need it as a student, or you don't have to, it doesn't matter. But you'll notice if I leave one of these unchecked and I go to question 4, it gives me that green check mark telling me I completed it. I didn't complete this one. It's very similar to how I was doing some typing on question 2 and it says I completed it. It does not mean you completed it when you get that green check. All right, I'm going to go to the next section. You can do that a couple different ways. I could be on number 6 and I could click next up here. Or, do you see how this changed up here? I could use this drop down and go to question number 7. Now there's only 7 questions in the practice test, so this last one is the big essay. And you can see here that the toolbar changed for the kids, so now they have options to use bold, italics, underline, and other formatting tools, numbers, bullets, and special symbols. I told the kids not to use the special symbols because that's a waste of time. So they can type, put in their information, format it, but they do have to read 2 long things and then use both sources to cite their answers, provide evidence, all that good stuff. So, but you can see it asks them to do a multi-paragraph essay. So this is where they need to do more than just a couple sentences. Same tools, but they just are expected of a lot more. I will see you guys tomorrow after school. I hope this helps. Don't worry, it's going to be fine.